Black coffee.
This is the Kavoya Coffee Podcasting Network. Coffee people talking to coffee people about coffee and things coffee adjacent. This episode of Ristretto is brought to you by Kavoya Specialty Coffee, where coffee is always a collaborative voyage. Welcome to episode 12 of Ristretto, Short Shots, Any Subject. For this episode, we invited John Galecka and Nancy Mines from Galecka Plus, Kavoya's creative agency, to join Rob in the studio for a brief chat about branding, marketing, and communications. Rob?
John Galecka, Nancy Mines, welcome to the studio.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So you, John, are the Galecka of Galecka Plus.
I caused this problem, yes, indeed.
Yes. And so you are the marketing agency that we work with at Kavoya. And so you're here for in our studio you came for your annual visit, which we really like, and we're going to have fun dinner later tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought these were biannual visits.
Well, sign me up.
They need to be.
They need to be up, yes.
Or you're coming to us.
Yes, I think that's probably works more like that. But we thought it would be a great idea to have you in because we've certainly learned a lot working with you. And, our purpose here is to share what we know. So we thought maybe we could just talk for a bit, a little off the cuff here. I think we're catching you both by surprise a little bit, especially from the look on Nancy's face. But
I love it. Bring it on.
Surprise.
Yeah. But so what people might not know is that you were the sort of magic sauce behind our rebrand into Kavoya. So that's probably a good place for us to start. So, we came to you with the problem of we were Olam Specialty. We're not going to get to be Olam Specialty anymore. We need to be a new name. And how do we do that? And you walked us all, a big diverse group of us through a very complex exercise and got us to the other side. So maybe if you wouldn't mind just sort of talking through like your approach with us and how that worked and what we all learned, that would be great.
Yeah, I would flip that though and say one thing, that you guys were the magic sauce. Our job was just to understand you guys and find a really good way to articulate who you were authentically to the market. So our job wasn't so much to run you through exercises as much it was to understand who you were, what you were really about, where your hearts were as a brand, digging deep into the relationships and the commitments you made to your customers and yourselves in this business. Sure, there were marketing exercises. Sure, we run you through the ringer. But really, we just sort of move the pieces and parts that were already there, that you guys were saying over and over and living and doing, and put them in this nice little brand that we call Kavoya.
Yeah. It's funny. We went through these values exercises and identity exercises of like, who are you? What do you stand for? Who do you think you are? Right. Which is sometimes different than who you are. And then who do your customers think you are and all that stuff. And then based on that and a couple of other things, there was this iteration of names. And one of the first things I found out was that all names are taken.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, 100% of all English word names have a domain name already, right? Which is, I realized the problem that the pharmaceutical industry has now. Right? So,
There's a lot of funny names there.
Yeah, right. And so, but as we went through, we were trying to come up with names that made sense for the results of that exercise. And I ended up at one point with a document that had 100 names on it, right? Mm-hmm. Which just was your team just firing on all cylinders. And somewhere around number 47 was Kavoya. And I remember seeing it and just saying, like, the thought that registered in my head was, that's going to be the name, right? It wasn't like, it wasn't even like a wee or like a great, it's just more of like, it was a certainty. It was like, that's going to be the one that we take. Right. And it's so weird to think back. I mean, that was years and years ago now. But I remember that thought of like, we had all these stakeholders to go through and all these hoops to jump through. But I just went, that's it right there. Yeah.
Naming is so hard.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite projects, but also the most difficult, right? Because it's so subjective. But when you do see it and your gut says it, then you know it's right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just remember like it was like I knew that was going to be the name, and then I was like, now I have to fall in love with it. Yeah,
you had to go through the process of you knew she was the one.
Yeah,
but you had to date for a while.
Yeah, no, it was. And we had such a we did this in conjunction with our UK team, who was our sort of they're more cousins than brothers and sisters, but it's like we operate under the same value set, but our businesses run a little bit differently, but we wanted to have the same identity. And it was interesting because I knew that, they needed to get on board, and our corporate needed to be on board, and like we had all these stakeholders, and I just was like, that's going to work. It's kind of a magic moment. But
well, it's funny because I don't know if I ever told you this, but we felt the same way. Like that was the one name, and I had like a very distant second one that I think was named after the bee that pollinates the flowers.
Wasp.
The wasp.
Yeah.
And that was one that and it wasn't Covoy at first.
Yeah.
It was, I remember sitting in my kid's bed at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And going through the names that the team had given me and getting all fired up. And it originally was something like Co-Voyager.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds terrible, but what if we just took out the As you often get from great creatives who are so close and can articulate the idea so well. That was the one too for us right away. It was just a matter of how can I get this through the team? Yeah. So
well, we're gonna lean on you for some. Imagine you're a doctor at a dinner party. We're gonna ask you for some free medical advice, right? So so we've got a lot of people who listen to our show who are smaller roasters, either small chains or independent shops who are operating in a super tough market, and you're very savvy marketers. Any advice?
Lots of advice across the board. I think number one in tough times, stay true to who you are. Like really look back to why you got into this business, why you started roasting and bringing the product and the brand you did to market. Don't try to chase all the different trends and do the little weird experiments that people are trying to do. Really look inward and try to hold strong to who you are. Now, when you do that, I'm going to talk maybe a little bit out of both sides of my mouth, but once you can articulate and are very comfortable and remember, who you are and why you got into this, just tell that story. You've got 2,000 different marketing channels that are almost free to go do that. You probably got a phone. Start telling that story on those channels. Just be authentically you. That authenticity generally wins in tough markets. Just don't go star chasing would be my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think another way to look at authenticity too is devotion. And that seems to resonate really deeply with me especially when dealing with brands. It's like if you have that craft and that devotion to what really inspires you and what you want to put out into the world, if you can craft that into like a really cool story and let people know like what's underneath that and just peel away those layers and understand what's deep inside you and what motivates you, what gets you excited. And people want to know that. They want to work with people who have such human interest stories and such a purpose in life, and they want to connect with that because people love stories, they love connecting with people, and that's the same that goes with brands and building a brand.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about coffee, there's a lot of interesting things about coffee, but most people get into coffee for interesting reasons. It's a particular calling, so most people have a story to tell, which is a big part of it.
Yeah. Oh, Nancy, like a lot of conversations, inspired something, right? That devotion. And one more little piece of advice to those, double down on those customers that you have who are there with you, who love you, who buy from you. Spend a little more time with them. Put a little bit more time into what you deliver. Talk to them a little bit longer. Do what you can to build a stronger connection and relationship with those customers. And make sure that love and that relationship is incredibly strong. Don't do anything that adds value to their lives and even ask them and find those ways. And I think you'll find that others will see what you're doing and want that as well.
Well, that's advice you've given us that we try to follow. So I can say that it's good advice. So, thank you both for coming in. and we look forward to the next few years of building out this great brand together.
So are we. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Ron.
Thank you. There will be a link to Galeka in the show notes. Cheers. You've been listening to Ristretto, Short Shots, Any Subject. Executive producer for the Kavoya Coffee Podcasting Network is me, Mike Ferguson. Our Ristretto theme music is Espresso Bar by Hans Hofken. If you've enjoyed this or any podcast on the Kavoya Coffee Podcasting Network, please do all the things. Rate, review, follow, or subscribe, and tell 3 friends. Right now. I'll wait. You'll find a link to our listener survey in the show notes. Please take the survey.
Please, I'm begging you.
And remember 2 things. You can email me at mike.ferguson@kavoya.com, and Black Coffee is performed by the one and only Ella Fitzgerald.
Bread bowl. Hello, bread bowl.
Okay, John.
Panera bread bowl with broccoli and cheese.